what's up, you guys? Are we back? Are we good? I'm so sorry. Yeah, that sucked. I'm gonna figure this out, I promise. Last time I was having an audio issue, it was a totally different issue. It was like a setting within my encoder. And this time, I just realized my Sony has to be in video mode or else it doesn't wanna listen to the audio. So, let me hurry and just delete that other video because last time everyone was trying to hop onto the wrong one. Yeah, but what's going on? What's up with it, all of y'all? I don't say y'all. That was a new thing. I'm just trying it out for the day. Not really feeling it though. It's just not me, you know? Okay, it looks like it just resumed this one, so I guess it didn't start a whole new one. So we're good. We're good. We're good. We hear you. We got sound. Keith Henderson is in. Kelvin Rodriguez is in the house. Man's in the house. Great name, by the way. What's up, man? You inspired me to get started leather crafting. Hello from the Dominican Republic. The new video quality is amazing. Yeah, thanks, Dirty B. Yeah, I'm live streaming from my Sony now as opposed to my phone, and that way I can tell OBS, which is my encoder, to upload in 1080. And you can't do that when you do live streams on your phone. At least not on YouTube. On Instagram, the quality's pretty good, but cramming for an exam right now, watching you is kind of a stress reliever. Nice. Well, let me know, you know, what can I do? What can I do to make this better? You know what I mean? Heath Trivet says legend. Thanks, man. Okay, as you guys know on my live streams, I like to get right to the point because, you know, later down the road when this is archived into my video stream and someone clicks on it because they're like, hey, I want to learn how to do a heat imprinter or like a foil stamp, I want them to be able to get the info they need, and then we'll hang out and chat later. So let's get right to this thing. So here we are. This is the star of the show right there, that little baby. Okay, all right. Yeah, so this is the Craftool Pro Heat Imprinter from Tandy. As you guys know, Tandy is a big sponsor of ours. We love them. One of my main reasons for partnering with Tandy was the fact that they are so good for people who are just getting into it. That's most of our audience. Here's the kicker though, this machine, this is not one of those things that's like, hey, this is a good way to get started and then graduate to something else. This is an amazing machine and will be for the rest of your leathercraft career. As is a lot of other Tandy tools, honestly. I don't know if you can see in the video, but like most of my tools are from Tandy. And I don't need to explain that because I have a million times before. But yeah, so let's chat about foil stamping. I wanted to have an example for you to show you. Here's one down here. Hold on now. So I got this, like, oh, no, that's not gonna do it. That's not it. All right. Well, look at this. Look what we got here. This is a good example. So I just grabbed some samples from my Wicked and Craig sample box. Is that not going to focus? That gold stamp right there, that's called foil stamping. And I think a lot of like new leather crafters look at that and think like, oh, but that's like an advanced feature. Like this is actually a really simple thing that you can do. And there's probably some simple tools you could use. I haven't really looked into it much, but I'm pretty sure you could just get like one of those, it's not like a soldering iron, but it's the same kind of thing. Just like the pen that, you know what I'm talking about, that you plug in and have like the right tip on it, it heats up. You could probably do that kind of stamping with this, but this is really nice because it's a stationary part of your shop. This grid on the platform where you set your piece, you can use those grids to like make sure you're getting the same lineup every time. Let's see if I've got, yeah, right here. Okay, so here's an example of a template that I've made in the past. You guys have probably seen this in some of my videos, but anytime I have like a new wallet or just something that I plan on stamping a lot of, I make a little template like this. I just did this out of scrap leather. And it's basically like some 5-ounce oil tan stuff, but I laid my, well actually in this case all I did was use my clicker dies and clicked out the shape that I need so that I can put that piece, I made this template the same size as the base right there so that I can put my piece in there, slide it in, and I'm getting my stamp in the exact same location every time. But I kind of feel like I'm jumping the gun here a little bit, so let's just talk about this machine in general. Like, I don't feel like I need to tell anyone that adding a nice little brand or you know, maker mark, stamp, logo just adds so much of that, you know, professional quality to your work. It's just one of those little touches that I feel like leatherwork needs to have. You know, it's like, it's kind of a requirement. No, it's really not. But I love, not so much the logo, I'm mostly talking about like a maker mark. I love when I find an old piece of leather. Like there's, my great grandpa's saddle is sitting here in the shop. And when I first got it, I looked all around it and I found a maker mark on it and you could see who made it. And that is so cool to me. I would love it for anyone, you know, 100 years from now to find one of my products and see the name on it. See that it was, you know, stock and barrel, made in Ogden, Utah. That, you know, that's kind of like leaving a legacy in your work. And so anyway, there's a lot of different ways you can brand your products. You can do like a heat stamp where you're not even involving the gold leaf at all. Or it doesn't have to be gold. There's other colors you can do. This is like a copper. There's, you know, silver. I've got some other colors around here, but you can just do the normal heat brand, which is actually what we do for our products. I went a little bit out on a limb a while ago and decided we were going to start heat stamping or foil stamping gold on all of our black products. So they would have all come out looking like this with the gold. Why isn't that focusing? You guys, come on, focus on that. It's your fault, really. But I mean, I especially love the gold foil stamp on black leather. I don't know what it is. It's just like, it's perfect. It's the perfect look. But that's only my opinion, and not everyone agrees. And after doing some asking around and talking to our own team, like, you know, our partners Thomas, Kaylin, Whit, we talked about it pretty thoroughly. We decided not to do it in the end, and it's okay because that's what happens, you know. But no, it was just kind of like brand consistency. Also, I sent in to Russ at Waterbury, and I was like, hey, can we do this in production? He's like, well, honestly, my foil stamper's down. It would, you know, cost some money to get it going again, and so anyway, he doesn't have the capability, so I'm like, well, we'll just bag it. But I've done a lot of foil stamping in some projects on YouTube that I'm sure some of you have seen. So it's just a fun way to like add a real nice quality touch. Nothing makes your products look more high-end and, you know, like, I don't know, glamorous. That's not it. That's not it. Just like real high-end and luxury than a gold foil stamp, you know? So, also, before I move on, I just want to make a point. I've always kind of had this like vision of our products being a little bit more on the rugged, you know, like fitting more into the world of Western tack, and something that would like be used in the field. And so like luxury was never really my brand play. And so I'm actually okay that we didn't go with the gold stamping like for production for our standard products, but it is fun to play around with, and I think a lot of you would really love going with it. But anyway, moving on. Let's just do like a little walkthrough. See, I already blew it. Anyone who like clicked on this is like, I want to learn how to foil stamp. They just had to watch like 24 minutes of me just jabbering. So let's just get into it, you know? So here's the thing. You have the heat imprinter. It's fairly small compared to some other, like the quick print. There's some like old school ones that are massive. This one's small and I like it, honestly. It's a little more difficult if you got like a big piece you're putting under here. I could see how like a bigger table would probably be helpful, but this is like a really reasonable price. And I don't have the price at the top of my head, and things change all the time, so I don't want to even say a price in this video. If you're curious about the price on this machine, just go click the first link in the description of the video and use my, that's my affiliate link, and I put the part number right underneath that link for this machine. So go paste that into the search bar of that affiliate link and you'll see the current price for it. But yeah, so this is a really solid machine. This was one of the more exciting things for me to get in the shop after we did the Tandy partnership. This was like something I'd been really wanting, and once I felt the quality of it, the stability. I mean, this thing's just a tank. It's like it's way heavy. It just feels like it's built really well. And I know it sounds like I'm doing a Tandy commercial. I'm really not trying to do that. They don't ask me to do that. I never, have a goal in mind to do something like that. I'm just trying to get the point across. So this is a good product. This is definitely something I would spend money on early on in my leathercraft career, I think. To give your products like a really professional look. So here's the thing about it. You get two of these little babies. One of them is mounted in there already, but you get one of these guides basically, and then you can order it with these stamped kits. So if you don't have your own maker mark made or a logo made, you can always use some of these right here. And even aside from like a maker's mark, maybe you have your maker's mark, but you also want to do a, like, what do you call it? Monogram. Like, a lot of times customers will pay quite a bit extra just to have their initials monogrammed in the product. And this is a really cool way to do it. Well, this is the only way to do it, honestly. Other than just like, well, see, that's a good point. Okay, so let's say you make a batch of products. I know I'm a little bit all over the board. I'm sorry, you guys. Just stick with me. Let's say you make a batch of 10 wallets, let's say, and they're all done. They're finished. They're sitting on a shelf, and you're waiting for people to buy them. And then you get somebody who says, I want to buy that wallet, but can I have it monogrammed? Now, most of the time, if you were planning on just stamping it, like this is a size kit right here. Is it like medium, XXL, all that kind of stuff. So this is different. But let's say you wanted to stamp something in it like that. Most of the time you can't just stamp right into the leather after a wallet's finished. If I put a stamp in right here, and use force to stamp it in, it's going to come through on the backside and look horrible. And I don't want you to look too closely at this wallet I grabbed from our seconds batch. This is like the mistakes. You can see that the leather had like the die wasn't struck all the way through, and it looks kind of like the wallet came down with some leprosy recently. And if that's insensitive, I'm sorry. So you can't just like smack the logo into a wallet after it's finished. If you have two layers, you're gonna do that and it'll come back through on the other side, and it's not going to be good. So anyway, this is a good way to add a monogram after the wallet's already done, as long as you don't pull down too hard. You can't like be using force. But if you're doing a foil stamp like with gold or the copper, you can lay it on top of the leather, just come down softly and let it burn in, lift it up, peel it away, and you have your stamp without putting too much force or pressure onto the product. To be honest, I haven't tried that very often. In fact, I don't know if I've ever done it on a finished product. Anytime I've done a foil stamp or even just a heat brand, I've always done it during the process, like as I'm making it. But I know it can be done, and maybe we'll try it here in a minute when I get the temperature right for the specific leather we're going to be working with here. So So yeah, that's one of the benefits of doing of having a heat imprinter over just a stamp made where you bam bam smack your mark into the leather. So the way this one works, it couldn't be more simple. You plug it in. It's got one switch right up here. Let me see if my cord's long enough to bring you over. Come on over. Okay, so it's got this one switch right here that's on and off, and then here's a couple different settings. Like I can hold down on that setting button, and I didn't do it long enough. Hold down on settings, and then you can change the temperature. I'll put it up to 227, hit set, and now it's going to start heating up. So this is the temperature that the heating implement actually is currently, and this is what your goal temperature is, or what you set it at. So if you just wait a while, eventually that's going to heat up and match that, and they'll both say 227. I hope that makes sense. Also, I'm realizing now that because of frame rates and video, that might just be a blinking mess. You probably won't be able to see that. But essentially, I mean, I assume you get the point there. The red light is the current temperature of the heating element, and the green light is what you set it to. So it's really simple though. I mean, it doesn't get much more complex than that. As far as knowing what temperature to put it at, I remember I actually I kind of did some searches right when I got this. I hit Google and I'm like, what's the suggested temperature? I did the typical amateur move, everybody does that. When you're really unfamiliar with something, that's just kind of the go-to, I just want to get a little familiar with it before I dive into it. But with this kind of thing, I would definitely suggest just getting a bunch of scrap leather and trying out lots of different temperatures and just playing with it, because your temperature is going to be completely different if, for instance, if you're going to use the foil stamp, you definitely don't want it as hot. If you're just doing a heat brand where you're branding your stamp into the leather just to, minus the foil, then you want it a little bit longer, but then it really comes down to what type of leather you're using. For instance, if you're using harness, which is a really, Wicked and Craig's harness is one we work with a lot, you guys know that. It's a really waxy and kind of oily leather, and so if you get your dye too hot, it just sizzles right into the leather, and you basically just get a burned mess. This is an example. Yeah, it just kind of that was funny because I tried that out with the settings that I usually use for our skirting leather, which is a much drier leather, and it's funny because I had that set, what was it at? 260, I think. And even at 260 with skirting leather, you have to let it sit on the leather for at least 10 seconds at 260 in order to get a proper burn or brand in there and have it look crisp and real nice. So I just didn't really think much of it, and I just threw this harness under there, just let's see what it does. And of course, way too hot, so brought it down to 227. I have no idea what that's going to do. I might need to go quite a bit lower. So that was what, 2 or 3 seconds, and it was still too hot. It's still giving me sorry, I'm realizing the focus. I don't really know how to adjust the focus when I'm live streaming, but yeah, so even that was too hot. So if I was working with harness, I'd probably come quite a bit lower than this, maybe 150. But I want to play around with skirting because I've got some scraps down here. I have a lot of scrap leather. So I'm going to bump this back up to 260. In fact, you know what? I don't want to use black because that's going to be hard to see it's going to be hard to see what it's actually doing. So I'll use skirting. There's some skirting right there. The same goes for natural tooling. I would imagine, needs it to be a little bit hotter. And an oil tan, chap leather like this, like all those ones you can get at Tandy, like some of my favorite hides ever. Just the like straight up oil tan utility hides that you can get from Tandy. Like this. I'm guessing that you would want it not quite as hot because there's so much oil in it. So, oh, what did I do? Okay, so I'm gonna bump it up to 260. And we'll wait for it just a sec to heat up to that. And I'll show you what it does with some skirting leather. But I was gonna show you this. The machine comes with a little Allen wrench adjustment. Oh man, I got it stuck in there. Alright, well, in the end it doesn't matter because I'm not going to actually change anything anyway. Anyways. So it comes with these little Allen wrenches, and they fit in these little adjustment screws. So you can put them in there and just barely loosen them so that they're enough to slide around, and then you can use your imprint set, and basically you got to figure out how to put it in backwards. If you're like me and your brain just doesn't work like that, then it might take a little bit, but you're probably smarter than me. And so you slide those in there, tighten it up, and I got a recommendation from I don't know if I guess I can say his name, Charlie Davenport from Tandy. I was talking to him. He's like the product developer at Tandy. He's the one that basically like hunts out, you know, all the best stuff to carry at Tandy. So the Stitch Master, he was a big part of that, you know, bringing that into their line, the Heat Imprinter. And he was asking my input on this, and I told him how much I loved it, with the exception of sometimes when you put these in, every now and then, it's just some of the letters, they're kind of, they were like off the line just a little bit, like the I's, the capital I's, I think, would just be like a little bit higher or a little bit lower and kind of throw the whole sentence off. It's not a huge deal. I mean, you don't notice it all that much unless you're like really looking at it. But it first became known to me from Ryan Savin from Little King Goods. He did a video about it, and I was like, oh yeah, I've never noticed that. I don't think I had used the I or something. But I was talking to Charlie about it, and he gave me the tip to basically, once you get your pieces in there and tighten them up, you can just use a little maul or a mallet and basically, like, I mean, softly, you don't want to like mess up the die, but you can just like knock them down to make sure that they're all sitting at the bottom or like level in the same line, because it is likely that one of the letters could just be like sitting up a little bit. Also, sometimes the letters that look like they can be upside down, like a capital I, for instance, you might think that it can be either way and not matter, but that might be the difference in it sitting up higher or lower because of the way, you know, the letter sits in that block. So anyway, that's the thing. Like, this stuff's so fun to play around with. I could just get like a mountain of scrap leather and just be bumping this temperature up and down and trying out all kinds of stuff. I still haven't really like played with this as much as I really want to. But the foil stamping is really fun. The heat branding is what we use for all of our products now. Like, I can show you, let me show you an example. So, sorry, coming. So this is one of our chestnut vertical wallets that's finished, and that, oh man, gotta figure out how to focus this again. Maybe if I zoom in. Yeah, okay, yeah. So that stamp right there was done on this machine, and it looks crisp and clean, and I just played with the temperature, you know, a little bit on some scrap leather. You want to use the exact same leather that you're gonna stamp, because every leather takes it differently. So get some scrap leather and play with it first. Make sure that you get a good stamp. So both you want to like, I mean, it helps to even like have a notebook next to you, and you can write down the ideal temperature for each type of leather you're working with, and then also the amount of seconds that you want to hold it down. So, you know, and it's going to be different variants of that work for you. But, yeah, I mean, I've just got it down to a science with the skirting stuff. It turns out beautifully. We're almost up to 260, so we'll do one in just a second once we get there. Let me read some comments. Kia Collins made it to a live stream. A love stream? That's a whole different thing, Kia. Yeah, sorry. No, those are on Saturday nights. I bought one on eBay what I could. Wait, I bought on eBay what I could, but I need others. Very essential. I really want to do it, get some money to pay for my studies and housing while I get a steady job. Nice. I'm starting to make wallets for men since I'm unemployed, but I lack resources. Buy the basic tools. If someone helps me, I'd appreciate it with my heart. Make wallets since I'm unemployed, but I lack resources. Well, hey man, I mean that's, dude, no one understands that more than me. When I started this out, I had like $200 to my name, and I of course didn't want to spend all of that on leathercraft. But yeah, there was a lot going on in my life at that time that basically had drained my bank account, and I had to kind of start fresh. And I mean, it was a great thing. Like, it was fun. It was like, I don't know, I just saw it as a fresh start, and I really wanted to do something new and try something completely different, and that's what this was. I think I bought one hide, but I found it like on sale. It was at Tandy, so it was a really good price, and then I was able to get a couple tools, just like the most basic stuff. I mean, you guys have heard me talk about this a million times, but yeah, man, I mean, no one understands that more than me, and that's one of the coolest things about leathercraft is you can start with almost nothing. Like, you can use nothing but like leather, of course, a needle, 2 needles, and some thread, and like an X-Acto knife, and right there, like, you can pretty much do anything you need to, and maybe a chisel punch, and that's super helpful in getting like a professional look for your stitching. But just with those things right there, you can already start making beautiful stuff, and get pics of it. You know, use your phone to get pics, put it up on Etsy, you know, because that's free to set up, and you're good to go. Like, you know, what more could you need? So that's one of the things I love. Like, a lot of other hobbies and crafts require a lot of investment and time, and of course you can get lost, spend a lot of money in leathercraft as well. The more you get into it, the more you want to spend. You know, the next thing you know, you want a clicker press and a sewing machine, and you can definitely spend a lot of money if you are trying to go down that route. But it's also something that you can do with nothing but the very basic tools. So, oh, Wit's here. Hi, Wit. Are you home? She was gone last time I talked to her. Because the stamps you get would be too big. Do you have a special stamp made for that wallet? Yeah, so, okay, yeah, I should clarify that. So this logo right here, that wasn't made with the stamp set. I actually sent in this logo to Tandy, and they sent me back, I wish I could show it to you, but it's 260 degrees right now, and I don't want to touch it. But yeah, it basically like comes in, well, I don't know how to show you, but anyway, they send you a die that, oh, you can't see me. They send you a die that fits the fitting for this machine, and the fitting is basically something like this under there, and so it slides into that, and then you use those adjustment screws to just lock it in. But you can also, they send this with it because this will also, you can also be used for this hand press right here. So if you're just pressing the logo in, then you can do that too. So, you know, that's one of the reasons it really helps to like get everything all at the same place. Did that sentence make sense grammatically? Yeah, it did. So, I got this heat imprinter, but I was kind of worried. I was like, but none of my stamps are gonna fit in the machine. I got to figure out how to jerry rig it. And they were like, no problem, just send us your logo. And they, they sent one back. I was told that it was gonna take quite a bit of time, but it only took like, I think it was about a week and a half, which is outstanding when it comes to custom dies, because I've waited up to like 6 to 7 weeks for custom dies sometimes, because it's usually being cut overseas, and I don't know. I've gone all over the place for custom dies. My favorite place right now, I think, if I'm getting one that doesn't need to be in here, then I get it from National Die Inc. I don't know if they have a website. Maybe they do. But I just have an email for them that was referred to me by Russ at Waterbury. But I just don't have a need for that much anymore, because if I'm gonna put a stamp in some leather, I would so much rather heat it up first and just get a really crisp, clean stamp like that, because the burning it in just really like adds the contrast and makes it visible. So yeah, so that's what I'm doing now. Order my stamps from Tandy. They send it back with the perfect fitting to fit this machine, and then they send this along with it, so I can put it in the hand press if I absolutely need to use it for that. So yeah, that's about all there is to say about that. Yeah, I guess I'll get to some questions, because that was a really good question. I'm glad you asked that. I've bought a few of your patterns and have done well with them. Awesome. Glad to hear that, Kia. Did you have a special stamp made for that wallet? Yes. Yep. Just covered that. Do you use the skirting leather on your wallets then? Yeah. Yep. Right now we are. I'm kind of bouncing all around. We've had some quality issues with the skirting that we've gotten from Wicked and Craig. Love Wicked and Craig, but skirting's just kind of a different animal. It's meant to be really rugged and just kind of rough, and that's why I liked it, honestly. But it can also cause issues. Like, we were just having a lot of the fleshy side dye not coming all the way through, and I don't know, just a few things. Like, the black actually looks really rough sometimes on the surface, and so I've been considering going to like a bridal, just because it's a little bit cleaner. And I use you guys are probably wondering, like, first of all, I'm all across the board with leather. Like, as far as what I use, I try and just experiment with so many different types of hides. That's the fun thing about it, like every type of leather acts differently, and so I love just playing around with so many. That's one reason I really love partnering with Tandy for the videos, because the videos are just really experimental. So I can go get any weight of natural tooling that I need at Tandy, and that lets you get really experimental. And then they also have like those really awesome utility hides, like the rugged, rough, oil tan type stuff. So yeah, there's a lot of fun leather to play around with at Tandy. As far as like our production wallets and products go, we get it from Wicked and Craig, just because we can order any of the variations of vegetable tan specialty leather, like bridal, skirting, natural tooling, harness, and you can get it split to the exact weight you need it to, and then they'll like finish the backside for you as well. So that's the reason we started going with Wicked and Craig for our like production wallets. It's hard to find a tannery that is capable of doing that for small guys. For people that are just wanting like 1 or 2 hides at a time. And then even at my level, where I'm buying more than one at a time, but we're not like at the level of like Filson or one of these massive companies that's ordering thousands and thousands of square feet of leather every month. So yeah, so that's where I'm at with that. This is done, so let's try a little stampy stamp. Got a couple of Toronto people here hanging out with us. Cool. Not 100% sure about 350. Well, honestly, that's a good price for this machine. I know I mean, just in general, equipment is hard to buy when you're getting into it and to like justify. But if you're looking to really improve if you really want to add some professionalism to your work, I think this is one of the best things you can do for that. And you can look around on eBay and probably find like some old used machines, like the Quick Print. I think it's spelled with a K or something, and those are good. I don't have any experience with those, so I really can't speak to them. But I honestly don't believe that they're any cheaper than this. You know, and this is a new machine. That's the other thing too. With the Stitchmaster, people were like, "But I can go get a used console for $600. Why would I buy the Stitchmaster?" And I'm like, are you serious? Why? Because it's a brand new machine. For one, you know, you can't compare a used thing with a new thing. You know, like we're talking about new things here. If you want to talk about used, then you can. That's a whole different argument. But you can't say that like one is better than the other as far as price goes when they're, you know, you're in different ballparks basically. But also that used console you buy isn't going to have the speed reducer and the posi pin system and the brushless motor. Like that machine is set up for leather workers right out of the gate, and so that's why I recommend it for people just getting started. Like, yes, you can go find a used $400 machine, but keep in mind it's going to be used for one, so you might have to do some work on it. You might need to, you know, oil it and do some maintenance to get it going. You're going to have to install a speed reducer, which takes a little bit of engineering. Not anything too serious, but you know, you got to put work into it. You might have to remove the clutch motor and buy a servo motor for it. There's just, you know, you can't compare the two, and I think that's what I was so frustrated about. People were kind of acting as if I was deceiving everybody, and it's just so inaccurate. If you're looking to go get a new machine out of the box, like, here's the thing. I try and put myself in my mindset just getting started. If there was something that I could have bought that would have made it 100 times easier to learn and not be bogged down by, like, you know, trying to fix an old broken thing, and just be able to like jump right into a new machine and have perfect instructions and information on how to maintain it and use it, then I would have done it. That is priceless to me. I could have saved months, maybe years of like the learning that it, you know, troubleshooting and everything that I mentioned this in the video, but I was scrolling through the manual and I'm like, all this stuff that they're teaching you in this manual, it's really simple and like well spelled out. I'm like, this is the kind of thing that I had to figure out for myself, just breaking needles and breaking parts, and like, I mean, it took me a long time even just to figure out that I needed a speed reducer. I didn't even know that was a thing, you know. And if you can get a machine right out of the box that's just ready to go, you can focus on the leather craft. So you know, it just depends on what you want. Some people want a project, some people want that learning process and want to save the money and are willing to go through that. So if that's the case, then great, go for it. My whole thing with Stitchmaster and this too, if you're comparing this versus like used ones you might find on eBay or something, like there's going to be a lot of benefit from just pulling a brand new machine out of the box. It's going to last you years and years and years. You know, all the education, all the support that you need is going to be there. So anyway, there's my little rant. Who cares, right? Who cares? Did you come up with creative ways to foil stamp before buying an actual machine meant for the job? No. No, that's kind of what I was saying, is that I don't have that much experience with heat imprinting or foil stamping in general. I always just either used like an arbor press or a hand press to press in my logo, or just smacked it with a mallet and the die. Like, honestly, I'll show you what I used for years and years and years. And it's kind of silly now that I think about it, you know, like it kind of makes sense with like a smaller die like this. That's just my little buffalo, my little bison guy. Something like this, it's pretty easy to get an even stamp, but I would just use like this is like a copper rivet setter, but it's also a pretty nice, you know, stamping tool. I can just put that in and bang bang, and get my stamp. Sometimes it's uneven, sometimes you go too hard, sometimes you don't go hard enough. So, you know, it has its flaws, but that's what I did for like years. But that's okay. Like, it's okay to do things by hand. There's nothing wrong with that, and I love that I went through that. But also, if you really want to increase like the professionalism and you want it to look better as far as like, you know, the brand, like getting the Heat brand as opposed to just getting it stamped. There it is. Then this is going to be a really good way to go. So you guys have to understand, I'm not like, sometimes I get the sense that like when I recommend things or when I'm talking about something, people are like, but I can't afford that. And I'm like, well, that's okay. Do it by hand for a while. I just want to like give some good recommendations for when you're ready to, you know, step up your game and try something new, you know? So I don't want you to think that you have to have a machine to do this kind of thing. There are ways around it, but also this is a really good way to get a beautiful foil stamp in your leather. All right, I keep saying the same things over and over, so forget about it. I just got this little piece of skirting leather here. It is a different color than what I'm used to. This is like a medium brown. So I don't know, it'll probably act pretty similar though, because skirting, you know, it's all tanned the same way. But I'm gonna bring this over a little bit closer now. And let me get it focused. I'm just gonna, so it's at 260. I'm just gonna hold it down for about 10 seconds and we'll see how it looks. This is just a test, remember. I don't know if it's gonna turn out, but this is how you do it. You know, you gotta, if you don't have like the exact notes written out for each type of leather and everything, like this is how you do it. You just gotta test it and figure it out. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's see how that looks. Okay, not bad. It's not very dark. It almost just looks like a stamp. So you could probably go even a little bit longer. Let's just try that. We'll just try like 12 or 13 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13? I don't know. Yeah, that's a little bit better, a little bit darker. Pretty clean stamp there. If it would focus. There we go. So that's just a heat stamp. Now I want to try the foil stamp, but I'm almost certain that we're going to need to drop the temperature. So let's just try it though, you know? Just try it. We'll just see like how far off we are. Actually, you know what? I don't know if, I mean, I can tell you right off the bat, it's just gonna burn right through the foil, and we'll figure out pretty quick that that's gonna be too hot. But just for demonstration's sake, let's just do it, you know? Just do it. So we'll go 1, 2, 3. I did it quick because it started like, see, that's what happens if it's too hot. I should probably zoom you in a little bit. Oh boy, hold on. Getting a little weird with the tripod. That's what happens if you do it too hot. Then it just kind of sears through the foil. Doesn't even try to get a clean stamp. So let's drop the temperature quite a bit. I don't even know. It's been a while since I even used foil stamping. I'm so used to just heat stamping it, just get the branding in there. But I don't know. Let's bring it way down to like 185. I don't know. We'll try it. That's actually going to take a little bit to cool down. I should have done it while we already had it cooled down. Sorry about that. But I'm going to cut me some fresh little piece of foil here. But what's up with you guys, you know? What's new with you? Indy wants to come be in the live stream. That's my girl. She's gonna be a live streamer. Tell her to come out. Send her out. Theodore says, love your channel, bud. Thank you so much. Why is Whit FaceTiming me? She knows I'm live streaming. She knows. She's a silly goose. You know, she's into the silly goose time. She likes to have a silly goose time. That's the thing I know about her. She just likes to have a silly time, and that's it. Crystalia. Did you get that machine from Tandy? Sorry, just came into the convo. Yes, sir. This is the Craftool Pro Heat Imprinter. The part number is 3970-00. And it's just a beautiful machine. It gets the job done. I've been so happy with it since I got it. Do other letters, hex and hit letters, work in this machine? It has a very specific fitting. So this is the way you're going to be able to use like letter sets or number sets, is by using this jig. So you basically just loosen up those little set screws, and you can slide whatever you need to in here. You can do almost you know, pretty long sentence, and if you have to break it up, you can, and like move it, you know, move the leather over and put some new letters in there and stamp it. So, but I mean, I can't imagine needing to do anything more than that. So you loosen those set screws and then use the very specific letter set that you get from Tandy, because these letters they're designed to fit that jig. They kind of have an interesting shape to them, like a, I don't know, like a pyramid kind of thing. It's not going to focus on that, it's too small. But yeah, so if you're looking to, I mean, I don't know any machine that just has like a universal stamp or universal fitting for any kind of stamp. I mean, it would be pretty hard to do. But there is here's a cool fact. Let me see if I have it in here. Hold on. Is that it? Yeah. Tanner's Bond safe mount tape. So Charlie Davenport sent me this when he sent me the machine. It's basically like a double-sided Tanner's Bond tape that can handle heat. It's heat resistant. So I've used this on one of our other dies. CX City. Holy cow! I have some old dies that. So this is one for a company we worked with last year called CW Urban. They're a cool company, cool people to work for. But we made some like blanket tabs for them with this stamp. So what I could do, this is a magnesium stamp, but I could just add this Tanner's Bond tape right here and then stick it. You know, I would remove the die that's in there now, but you could basically just stick it in. Like, I think what I would do is probably just slide a blank one of these in there, take those letters out, and then just stick it on with the tape, and it'll transfer the heat right to the die, and you're good. So it might be a little bit of a pain to pull the tape off clean. Oh, see, like it looks like I did it with this one. So I had some heat tape, that Tanner's Bond heat resistant tape on this, and looks like I tried to pull it off and it didn't come off super easy because of the heat, obviously. But it is possible. Like, that's good to know. I mean, if you already invested in some dies and you're like, I don't want to go order all new dies, but I want that machine, you can use existing dies and just throw the tape on it. I would imagine you would just, you know, since you're probably just using the same stamps over and over, you don't have to keep removing the tape. So it would work, you know, it would work. I've had pretty good luck with my Sewa stitching chisels and they don't cost too much. Cool, right on. Thanks, I'll look it up. They seem to work better than my Craftool. They're very sharp, as I found out the hard way. Yeah, it's interesting. I don't know, everyone has a different experience, you know? Like, I'm still using all my Craftool chisel punches. Granted, I don't do a lot of hand stitching. Like, it's, you know, it's definitely not like a big part of my craft anymore, or my process, but I do use them. I mean, I've used over the course of like 6 years since I bought all my chisels. I've used them a lot and they hold up, especially if you get these ones right here. So I don't know which ones you have, but like Tandy has, or Craftool they have a couple different lines. Like this is just the regular Craftool chisels, and then this is the Craftool Pro chisels, made with a harder steel. They're this one is a 3mm distance. I like that closer punch. But anyway, like these work really well, and they've lasted me a long time. So yeah, I mean, but that's the thing. Do whatever works for you. You know, I've over the years of like talking to different leather craftsmen, I've realized how like it's just pretty wild, like how everyone's experience with things are so different. Like somebody can be using one machine that they love and someone else can totally hate it, and vice versa. Hey, what's up? Hey, did you come beat me up? Who are you? Are you Princess
Tangled?
Oh, Princess Tangled.
Indy wanted to be on the live stream.
I'm glad. Hey. Oh, she did? Is that Remy's dress? What's Edda saying?
She likes her new swaddle.
Hey, are you still hitting me? You're crazy, man. You're crazy.
We haven't been with you all day.
I know. This is like one of the first days we've been separated for so long.
Well, yes, last night too.
Yeah, it's been a real weird change. We just both had different things going today.
We never do.
Brady says we're matching outfits, so that's fun. Well, that's because I stalk you. I have hidden cameras in your closet, and I figure out what you're wearing, and then I wear it. Hope you don't mind.
Good job.
Where in Toronto are you from, downtown area? I'm guessing that's a different conversation going on, because we're not from Toronto. Very cute little one. Congrats. Thank you, Jason. I mean, our kids are mostly cute because of me. I think you gave them a little bit of it, you know? But like mostly me. Look at him over there jumping off stuff.
Okay, I'm watching. Wow. Guys, what?
Your wife speaks great English. You do speak good English. I never thought about that, but you do. Okay, watching. Oh, you want them to watch? Okay, they're watching.
Are you okay?
Wow.
He put his head on
You guys okay? You need some helmets? I'm just so proud of your English, you know? You speak it really well. Great accent. Even with the broken English, you understand. Your English is very good looking accent. Welcome to New York. I don't know what's going on. Something's going on, and I don't know. I don't know what it is, but something's going on. My 4 kids are close in age, like yours. Nice. Theodore. Can I call you Teddy? You know? Like, just want to call you Teddy. Jay says the Stitch Master is awesome. I agree. Close to U of T. I think there's conversations going on in this that we're not a part of. Just let us be a part of your conversation, you know? Like, you're leaving us out, and it's making me sad.
Well, you weren't commenting back.
I know, I'm just kidding. Yes, but Amazon cheap stuff. Yeah, so I'm waiting for this to go. What? Why didn't it go down? I must not have hit set after. Sorry.
To what?
I tried to put it way down to 195, and I've just been waiting around like an idiot. Come on. We'll do 195. All right.
Was it loud in here when it was just dumping, or no?
Yeah, we have a metal roof, so when it snows or hails, you can't hear it.
My hair's crazy. I had a hat on earlier.
This might be too personal. If so, sorry, but were you able to build that shed with money from your business? Yeah, we did. Yep. I mean, we're not crazy. We did finance it, you know, but it was a much better option than like getting a lease on a, you know, $2,000 a month warehouse downtown. Like with this, we're gonna have it paid off in just a couple of years, and it'll be awesome. It'll be ours. It'll add the value to our home, you know.
You can call him Teddy, he said.
Right on.
Where is our Pepsi crate?
Right on. It's right there.
They want to see it.
What? What do you mean?
Can I see your wood Pepsi crate?
No. No. Definitely not.
Hooking people up with places.
There it is. I don't remember where we got that, do you?
Was that from?
Oh,
no, that was from that antique place. We got it when we were dating, remember?
Yeah, but then where's the one from when my grandpa passed away? I
This
got a
wasn't
Pepsi one.
Pepsi.
Yeah, it was. It was Pepsi.
There's two Pepsi ones. Yeah, there's one right there.
Did you fall off the table?
Yeah, this one's from your grandpa, the other one's not.
Oh, this one's from my grandpa?
Yeah, that one's the one we got.
Oh, see that? It's so much cooler when stuff has a story. You know what I mean?
Grandpa John.
That's Brady Linebaugh. It's his grandpa as well. We share grandpas. Mostly my grandpa,
Yeah, he said
but
he's
it's kind of
Pepsi
his grandpa too. Yeah, see?
Thank you.
That's awesome. Congrats on the new baby. Anyone know a waterproof black edge dye? Like, that does not rub off when it gets wet.
Ow. That's good.
I haven't had any of our edge paint ever wear off from water. And, but yeah, I realized you said dye, and I can't imagine the dye would wear off from water either, but that's interesting. I don't know, maybe, see, that's the thing. Everyone has different experiences. You just gotta try stuff, and then you figure it out, and everyone has different experiences, and that's it. Can't wait to use my Juki 5550. Takes a dump so I can, yeah, dude. Just do it. Just sell it. Dude, if it takes a dump, then you can't sell it anymore. So, also, why is your sewing machine taking dumps?
Oh my gosh.
It's finally going down.
Okay, I'm ready. Wow. That is really good.
That's funny. When are you doing a show here in the tri-state area? I don't know. What?
They saw you jump already.
Okay.
He wants you to show.
Still in my thunder. I'm supposed to be the star of the show. Whoa!
Wow, guys.
That's pretty cool.
You want us to go in now?
No. You guys are more fun than me. Okay, last one. Make it big. Go big or go home. Wow.
That was good.
That's huge. Okay,
Hey,
Wes.
Wes, hurry.
Make it happen. Johnny Tsunami.
Oh my gosh.
We don't really do shows. I don't know if you're talking about something in particular, but I have been campaigning with Tandy. I really want to start going on store tours, like just, you know.
All over?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay,
Hi, bud.
You better go inside. They just
No, they're
missed
fine.
you so much.
I'm not doing anything anyway. I'm just
Let's go
waiting
get
around
Thai
like a
food.
son of a gun.
Does anyone
Ooh, I
wanna
do
come
want
get
Thai
Thai
food.
food with us?
That does sound good. That does sound
We
good.
did see someone there once that did watch our channel.
Yeah.
How
What was
many
his
coats
name?
of edge paint do you recommend?
I just do one. I know a lot of people, like the people that, yep. I know a lot of people that like do a coat, sand it down with like a really light sandpaper, and then do another coat. I just haven't seen the need for that. Like, I'll show you. I mean, I'm not scared. Our edges look hot, hot, hot.
You okay, buddy? Indy, he needs you to help him.
I just don't know about the whole focusing situation though.
There, you got it.
I mean, that looks pretty good, and that's just one coat. But I will say, the way we get away with only doing one coat is because I burnish. Like, I think some people try and do edge paint without burnishing first. Just a wet burnish. I'm only talking water. I don't do like wax and a burnishing agent or anything. Just water, just to slick it down and get the edges really smooth. And then your one coat of paint is gonna look beautiful. So just consider that, you know? Because there's times where I have laid down one coat of paint and the edges weren't very nice, and then I have to end up sanding it and doing another coat. So
I can take her back.
I want her.
You have to work.
You hog her all the time. You stay up with her all night, and you never let me have a turn.
Okay.
I love me some Thai. Brady, get the keys, put them in your pocket, walk out to your car, pick up Rosie, carry her to the
She's
car,
already there.
get in the car, turn it on, get on the I-15, and drive north for 1.5 hours. and come eat Thai with us and stop dinking around,
We
you know?
usually just get it to go anyway.
Yeah, it's
We'll
true.
have
We
some-
never eat there.
Not Thai food. There
When's-
might be some events, Jason, at the Riverdale store. We don't know.
Oh, yeah, are you in Riverdale? I've been wanting to do a poll on YouTube and just say who wants to do a meetup at the Riverdale store, because like I think it would be a good way to test it to see if like a nationwide tour would even work. But I can't decide how big to go. Like part of me is just like, I'm just gonna put out a post, say I'll be at Tandy Riverdale in half an hour, come, you know, meet me there. Or I'm like, let's get food trucks and let's do giveaways and let's just like go all out and go big or go home, because that's how I live my life, Johnny Tsunami. Will you be doing any journal covers? Maybe, I don't know. I never say never, you know? Dream big. Always chase your dreams. Never give up. Always remember who you are. Be true to yourself.
Stop.
Be yourself, everyone else is already taken. Never give up.
Toronto Gnome, is that how you say it?
What? Come to the Toronto location.
But I'm just saying, you can hijack the conversation.
Oh, Toronto
It's
Gnome?
fine.
That's a good name. Yeah, man, hijack that conversation.
Hello from West Virginia.
Once I
Hello,
leave
Brett.
Japan, I'll likely set up shop in Utah or Wyoming.
Wow,
Fine
good
idea. I
talk.
was stationed at SLC for 3 years and I loved it. Well, cool, man.
There
Do
wa-
it then. What are you waiting around for?
No baby number 4 for us. She's our baby. Last baby.
Yeah. I'm getting a little snippy snip. Should we just do it right now?
Stop. Don't say that.
I honestly don't even know what gets snipped or tied or anything. I haven't even like looked into it because I'm so afraid. But really, the Japanese.
Hold on, someone
what?
asked up here, what's the difference between edge paint and edge dye?
Okay, so edge paint actually lays a layer of paint on the edge, like over the edge. Edge dye there really isn't, that I know of, a thing that's called edge dye specifically. But I know what a lot of people do, including me on some projects, is fill up a marker. Where did my dye marker go? Yeah, okay. So I just found out Tandy actually carries them now and I got really excited, but you can get these markers right here. They're refillable. I forgot where the camera is. I'm pointing it at the computer like a ding dong. You can fill these up with not edge dye, I keep saying it, with just regular pro dye. Like some of this. Phoebing's pro dye. Fill it into here, and then you just use the felt tip and you just rub it on the edges and you get real precise with it. But the difference is like that actually soaks into the leather, and then you want to like burnish it after and get like get a burnish after you've dyed it. It's just a different process really, and it is a different look too. What I like about edge paint is it basically, like if you use edge dye, you're still gonna have to burnish. You're gonna have to lay down some wax after, a burnishing agent, and you're gonna like really want to slick it down and get something to seal it up. But from my experience, like no matter how much I burnish an edge or how well I do it, years down the road, it's still gonna pull up just a little bit. Like the fibers are gonna pull up. I to this day haven't had a really nice burnish that just stayed that way forever. Maybe it's just me. I would love to hear your experience. The thing I love about edge paint is it just seals it up good, especially if you're using a really quality edge paint. But it's a lot faster, honestly. So like in the production, are you trying to be the star of the show? You're just over there singing and riding nays and lassoing stuff.
I said safety first, like you always say.
See, that's the problem of having all these cute people in here, is they steal my thunder, and really the show is all about me. I'm the star. I like Phoebing's edge paint. Hi Lucky, Guy, greetings from London. God bless, good bless your beautiful family. Thank you.
You guys are all so
Good
nice.
bless your family. Oh dude, he's telling me all about vasectomies. All right, let's get into this. Look up Vassal gel. It's an injection in the tube of vasectomy cuts. The healing time is less than a day. We could be back in business in a day.
Stop. Don't say stuff.
Knuckles.
Like
Etta, give me Knuckles.
No.
Gosh. Hi from your fan from Egypt. That's awesome. Sorry, the last comment wasn't leather related. But I did request it. You guys, let's do some foil stamping. What are we even doing, you know? Like, it's all set up now.
You just don't want to talk about vasectomies anymore.
No, I really do. Because I'm gonna get one. It's inevitable. Okay, here we go. So, we got it down to 195. What, buddy? You want me to draw a motorcycle? In just a minute, okay? So I don't even know if this is the right temp. I haven't tested it on this leather at this temperature with this foil, but we're gonna give it a go and just see how it looks. So again, like, there's a few things we're testing. One, we want to make sure it's the right temperature at all. But then two, I have no idea how long to hold it down for. So we're just gonna do one and see how it goes. We might be way off, but then we'll just keep trying and see how it goes, you know? All right, let's just do a shorty like that. The way it should work is kind of stick like that. It looks like I didn't do it long enough, so we might have to do a longer one, but when you peel it up, it should stay in there. So that definitely wasn't long enough. I'm gonna try a longer stamp, like, we'll say like 10 seconds or something. If that's still not enough, I'm gonna bump up the temperature to like 225 or something like that. So, it's all about testing, you guys. I forgot to count. Is anyone else counting?
No, I got 5.
You weren't counting. Yeah, sorry. I gotta do it again. I'm gonna count this time because that wasn't long enough. Let's do 10 seconds.
How transportable is that press?
It's real transportable.
Is it heavy?
If you just unplug it, you can carry it wherever you want. It's heavy. I mean, it looks about as heavy as it is. You know, like this is cast iron down here. This is more of just a shell that covers the... Sorry. Anyway. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Why didn't anybody count with me? Indy was thinking about it. Will you count with me on the next one? What is going on? Yeah, okay, it's definitely not long. I think I'm gonna bump up the heat. Let's just get up there to 225. I don't know. These numbers are arbitrary. I'm just moving it around. Who cares what it is, you know?
They said Indy's the executive producer, so hand her a huge check. Plus she's the manager. So. I agree.
I don't know.
She's the real boss around here.
Are you? Are you the boss?
Who's the boss? Mom? No. You know who's the real boss. I am, huh?
I'm the one that lets you do all the fun stuff.
No, I am.
I let her do fun stuff.
You say I'm too... What is he? Mohammed is counting.
Was just looking at that, like that pen, wondering if it would work. Yeah, and I haven't used it yet, but I have some other pens just like it that I got on Amazon, and they worked great. So I can't imagine why these wouldn't. I was really excited to see that Tandy was selling them because every time I use those in a video, people are like, "Whoa, where'd you get that?" And I'm always like, "I don't know. I've searched Google forever to find them, and now I can tell you, Tandy." Thanks for the info on the double-faced heat tape. Yeah, that's a... I can't even tell you how long I spent trying to find some tape like that when I got my other... You guys, I should mention that. I bought a piece of crap. I'm not gonna be able to reach it. I bought a heat imprinter on Alibaba just like a long time ago. I was like, I don't know. I don't really need one. I just want to play with it. And I got it and it came to me and it was broken. It worked just well enough that I could like play around with it, but I didn't know how to use my dies on it. And so I was trying to find some of that heat resistant double-sided tape. Couldn't find it. So anyway, Tandy was a major blessing because They sent me this and they were like, oh, by the way, you're gonna need this tape. And I was like, oh, where were you like a year ago? Wes, Brady says you're the boss. Is that true? Why do you look so gangster right now? You look... Why? Oh, are you got your boobie out? Jeez, so scandalous. I had to take off my shoes to count that high. Yeah, it's funny. What, bud? Did you draw something? Proud of you. Hey, I need to just give like an open apology right now to anyone who clicked on this video because it said, here's how to use a heat imprinter, and then 2 hours later, you still don't know how to use it. But we're gonna get there. I'm showing you, you know, and we're just having a good time. We're just having a silly goose time, and that's all that matters. Love the content, man. I drop in any chance I get. Thank you so much. I love it when you guys drop in any chance you get. Vasectomy's not that bad. Going in Monday to see about getting mine reversed. What? Oh, don't do it. That's crazy, man. What are you doing? You're just throwing stuff for no good reason? Dude. Dude. Whoa. Someone needs a beating.
He smiled at us.
Hey. I made a mess on the workbench and I hate it.
You watched too much Parks and Rec.
Snip, snap, snip, snap. That's Michael Scott right there. Do you have any idea what that does to a man? What? Yeah?
Look what Indy's saying now, baby.
What? That's Brady's fault. Brady, now you got my daughter talking about vasectomies and I'm not happy about it. Okay, should we try? Okay, we're at 2:19. I'm sorry, guys. You know what? This kind of thing, this is why project videos take so long and you guys don't realize it because I film them and I edit it. I don't edit it anymore. Brandon edits it down to like 10-15 minutes, but the reality is it was like an 8-hour day and a lot of it is just like waiting for edge paint to dry and waiting for the thing to heat up and you know, phone calls coming in that I'm taking, and like that's what's crazy. These videos take so long and I would have never expected that. Every time I'm like, yeah, I could bust out a video. I'll make a wallet, bust out a video in like 2 hours, no biggie, and it never is 2 hours. But with the live stream, you're getting the whole deal. You're getting the whole... Let us see the little cutie cowgirl again. She's on the floor. I gotta be careful. I can't be pointing over there because pornography. I can't point the camera that way because pornography. There's topless women over there.
Papa, I can go inside.
What? You are?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Bye-bye.
This is where we're hanging out. Why are you going inside?
Because...
I said we're being too loud.
No. You're fine. Don't you like hanging out here with Dad?
Yeah. Hi.
I think this is the first time
Can you see
all
yourself
of us
right
have
there?
been here since she's been born.
I used your workbench as a starting place to make mine. I did a 4x6, made some changes to beef up one side for hammering work. Nice, Jason. That's real nice. Real nice. How many people do we have in here? 67. Indy. 67 people. What do you want to say to the world? What would you could say anything right now to the world. This video might get like, I don't know, a few thousand views. And you could say anything you want to change the world or to leave it the way it is, whatever. What do you want to say? What? But what can you? What do you say to the people?
Hi.
That's a game changer right there.
Yeah. Here, Dada.
Thank you. Oh no, that's just my eye patch.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, because remember when I got shot by a bow and arrow in the eye?
Yeah.
So I just have to wear this on Tuesdays till it gets better. Luckily, it's Friday, so I don't have to wear it. I agree, process server. What did he say? She's adorable. Thank you.
She's eating. You could hold her in a minute.
I think I missed so many comments earlier on because I was just chatting it up like a son of a gun, and I wasn't reading any comments. Let's back it up.
That's cold. That's cold.
It is cold, huh? My eye's still a little bit chilly.
Mom.
Just got the notification. Wow, I've literally just been looking at a hot foil stamp. Wow,
Hi.
tie for this video. How durable is the foil?
I got
From what I've experienced, the foil lasts as long as you need it to. I have a briefcase that was like my great grandpa's. Actually, I think my dad has it now. It was out here, and he put it in his office, and it's beautiful, and it says my grandpa's full name on it, and I love it. And I really wish that like our model contributed to like being able to put everyone's name on our bags, because I think that is such a cool touch, and maybe one day we will like make that a thing, you know. But anyway, that bag's like 100 years old, and the foil stamp was still hanging strong. So as far as I know, it's pretty durable. I'm going way back in the comments. I saw Thomas was here. Are you still here, Thomas? He said it's the finished touch. Yeah, it looks good.
Hi. I got some babies.
Oh, he did? That's funny.
What? I got babies.
Yeah.
Hi. I got babies.
Lots of good comments. All right, are we there yet? 225, we made it. Woo! Who's excited to get some stamping done? We're gonna do some gold foil stamping now. All right.
Gotta get this right so we can go eat.
What, are you hungry? What time is it?
I'm hungry.
5:30. We still have to wait for Brady to get up here. Buddy, you keep beating me.
Come here, bud.
Don't touch that. It's hot.
I
Okay, I'm gonna move this down.
Okay, Indy, let's go inside.
Why do you guys want to leave me? That's so sad.
It's just so loud. They're just loud.
I don't care. It's more fun because I'm just boring. All right, let's see where we're at with this. This is what the testing is all about, you guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Good
Let's
job.
see where we're at.
Indy,
Okay,
they asked
that's
if
still
you're
not
having
right.
fun.
That's still not right, you guys.
Yeah, I'm having fun.
They said you're fortunate, Mr. Lucky Guy.
What?
So you need to.
Man, what is going on? I am very fortunate. I agree. I think I'm gonna bump it up even more, which is crazy because I don't know. When I had it at 260, it like burned right through with even a. I guess let's try 250. I don't know what's going
What were
on.
you at?
I
Did
was
you
at
set it?
225.
There we go then now.
You know, this is how things go
Papa.
because I've done this. I mean, I haven't done it a lot. I haven't like spent that much time gold stamping, but every time that I have, it's worked out really nice. And I have a few videos on YouTube to prove it. So forget all the haters.
They're not haters. A lot
Probably.
of people say, I learned something from every video, and I'm having fun. Showed up to see the foil. I learned even more.
Well, thank you.
Let's go inside. Come on. Get your blanket, Izzy. Go say bye.
Bye, Daddy.
There's a Thomas G and a Tom G.
Bye,
Bye-bye, guys.
Bye, Indy.
Wesley, say bye.
Bye, Wesley boy.
Bye-bye.
That's Wild West.
Coming soon.
Okay, I'm coming in soon.
We like you guys too, but we want to go eat.
As soon as I get a solid foil stamp, I'm out of here. Check you guys later.
Bye, love you, bye. Don't go by the river.
Be safe, be true, be honest, be kind, be persistent, never give up, never back down. It's just, they're gone, you know? Alright. I know I'm making you a lot of you sick with the whole camera things I'm doing, and I'm kind of sorry, but also not really, you know? Alright. Come on! Why aren't we getting a good stamp here? That's what I want to know, and I want to know it right now. Honestly, it could just be, you know, like I've never tried it on this leather, and it could just be this kind of leather. Sometimes that's just how things go. But I'm pretty confident we're gonna get it. We're gonna get it right. We're gonna figure out the right temperature and the amount of time to stamp her, and it's gonna happen. I think we'll get another piece here. That's what we need, is a fresh start, you know? But anyway, that's what it's all about. Yeah, so I don't ever want you guys to just be like, oh, Parker said to buy it, so I'm gonna go buy it. Like, I would never recommend that. This machine is an incredible machine, and I'm here to tell you that it's been great for my process and my work. I definitely mostly use it for the heat stamp, but if you're looking for a nice professional gold foil stamp for that luxury look, this is an awesome option. Of course, you can go check eBay and Craigslist and whatever, and probably find some good deals on some old ones or whatever, but if you just want something right out of the box that's gonna last you a long time and it's gonna work right from day one, plug it in, hit the switch, you're good to go. And it's got everything you need. It's got all the tools you need for the adjustments. You can get the stamp kits with different sizes of letters. That's what I'm all about, you know? I love getting the all-in-one combo. You know? Yeah, so go into Tandy, ask the store clerks, whatever you call them, employees, I don't know what you call them. The salesmen? They're not really salesmen. They're just good people though. I haven't been into a Tandy and not enjoyed the company of one of the employees there. But go in there and talk to someone about it. If there's anything I didn't cover here, you know, figure out if it's gonna work for you. I definitely don't want you to just be like, well, he said it, so I'm gonna go get it. And then when it doesn't work out for you, not that it wouldn't, but you know, if for some reason, because of your process or the type of leather you, whatever, it doesn't work out, then you go, well, Parker said it would. Just do your research, you know? That's what it's all about. But I'm here to tell you, this is an awesome machine, and I've loved it. Definitely been one of the greater additions to the shop in 2019. And I'm gonna get a lot of use out of it in the near future and distant future as well. All right. Let's hit some comments while we're waiting. Yesterday I was watching one of your videos. My buddy sent me one of your videos while I was watching another one of your videos. I gotta start over because something wasn't right about the way I read that. Yesterday I was watching one of your videos and my buddy sent me one of your videos while I was watching one of your videos, and I've never talked to him about leatherworking. Whoa, man, that's crazy. That's a small world. I started out making my own welding rod hold for work. I was bored after work and went to a small town, stopped at a garage sale probably. They were selling all the leather stuff. I bought it all. Nice, that's the way to do it. Oh man, process server. Yeah, it's probably late for you. You better go to bed. Thanks for jumping in though. Pops Woodwork says hello from sunny Queensland. Nice. Well, thanks for jumping in. Aren't you supposed to put the gold side down? No, actually, because you want the gold to be visible on the leather, if that makes sense. So this this basically bonds to the leather, the backside, and then the gold shows on the top, if that makes sense. So basically what you're doing is after the burn, you pull up the tape away, the foil, and it kind of just like cuts away everything that didn't get stamped from the heat into the leather. So I mean, this is all gonna make sense when we get the right temperature down. You know what I should have done is like figured out the right temps for this type of leather beforehand, so I didn't have to waste your time with the live stream. But this is fun, right? We're having a good time, and we're gonna get it. So we're at 247. I'm just gonna let it get to 250 before we move on. But I think we'll get it. Even if the temp's not right on this, I think I'm just gonna hold it for a little bit longer and see if we can get it right, and then bump up the temp later. But we're gonna get it. This is just what it's all about, you guys. And for the most part, if you're working on a project, you're gonna have other things you need to do, like other burnishing, you know, prepping, cleaning. Like it probably seems like it takes a while to wait for this, but you know, that's just the nature of you know, a machine that needs to heat up like this. And normally, like, I don't even notice it when I'm in a project. I'm like burnishing something else, and then I almost forget that I even turned it on. I'm like, oh, I gotta go do the heat foil stamp. I was reading and it says 144 to 324 degrees, and you should just touch the leather and back up. Try that. Well, that's basically the range I've been working in. I started at 195 and we're just working our way up. I'm at 250. So yeah, I mean, we're in that window. And with the if you're actually like burning a brand into it, like the way we do with our production wallets, I like to hold it for a little bit, because if it's hot enough to where you just touch it, sometimes it can, I mean, it kind of sears the leather, and it affects the way it looks. It actually like kind of burns the outside edge of the stamp, which is, it's just a little bit off. And so I actually prefer to have it a little bit under and then just hold it down for like 5 to 10 seconds. Maybe you can even go a little hotter and do it for like 5 seconds, 3 seconds, whatever. But if you have it hot enough to where you're just like, psst, like it just, psst, you know, you don't want that, because the heat is going to kind of like expand into other parts of the leather, and it just ends up not looking that great. So, but again, it's all preference. It's whatever you want, baby. It's whatever you want to do. All right, so let's try this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can already tell that was, man, it is not sticking to this leather. I mean, that did it a little bit. It kind of liked that. We got a little bit of the gold in there, but definitely not enough. Usually if you got like a really good contact, then you'll kind of peel it away and the rest will stay there, as opposed to the gold just kind of like. So we're gonna get this. I don't feel like, you know what, maybe we should go hotter. I think for the foil stamp it is a little bit different. Like yeah, so like what Frank was saying, I mean, that's what they recommend, to just touch it. So maybe that works better for the foil stamp. So let's just, I don't know, didn't we start at 260? I swear we started at 260 and it wasn't into it. I'm just gonna play around a little bit here. I'm gonna try and hold it a little bit longer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, see, I mean, that's too long, because it causes the whole, usually when it's being done right, like in the past when I've had it down, it doesn't like shrivel up the whole foil like that. It's just kind of like, it's just in and good, and you can use other parts of the foil. Like this is really shriveling it up. So I don't think it likes to be held down like it does with the heat stamp. So I guess we'll just bump up the heat a little bit more and try it again. Man, I'm sorry, you guys. I should have done some preparation before this and figured out the right setting for this leather. But I kind of wanted to show you that, like, this is what it's about. This is because Otherwise, I'm gonna get a whole bunch of emails, people saying like, what's the exact temperature and time I should use it for this type of leather that I have? And I'm gonna be like, I have no idea. You just gotta get in there and figure it out, you know? That's what I love about this craft is like, there's not like one perfect answer for, you know, all these different solutions. It's in the end, leathercraft is an art form, and you're gonna get different results based on different techniques you're using and how you're using it. So just try it out. Try it out. Next time I'll make popcorn and grab a drink. That's a fine idea. Because we're going on what, like 2 hours now? What are we really? 1 hour and 30 minutes, people. That's big time. Have you tried raw veg tan? Yeah, I have. In fact, I sent it off. I made a little accessory pouch, and I gold foiled it, and I did it in natural tan, and it turned out great. Isn't the irony of that so funny? Like, I've done this on quite a few projects. Like, I don't want to say it's not like a common part of my process, but I've definitely done this a few times. And every time I've done it, like, I think I, you know, maybe tested 1 or 2 different temps and got it down. I think that all the pressure of the live stream is just throwing it off a bit, but we're gonna get it. I'm not worried about it. Like, we'll get it. I just know that, like, as the time's clicking down on this live stream, I'm like, whoever clicked on this just to learn how, you know. Okay, but here's the other thing. As far as like learning how to do it, this is how you do it, you know? There's nothing else to it. You want to lay the silver, the back side of the foil down onto the leather you're doing and bring the heat to the gold. So other than that, like, what else do you need to know in order to try this out on your own? You know how to do it. And then you need to just test like a madman. Or woman, because I'm not sexist, you know? How much are those machines? I believe someone just looked it up and said it was $350. But, you know, prices change. And also, I haven't done a lot of research as far as like what used machines are going for. But what I do know is that there's not that much availability. Like, you can't, even like with the old machines, you can't find very many heat imprinters like this. And so I was really excited when Tandy came out with this one, because I think that even if you find a used one, you're probably going to be paying about that much. You know what's funny about old leather equipment is that they're kind of like old cars in a sense. You know, like, some machinery just gets old and people don't want it anymore, but for some reason with leather specific equipment, I'm guessing that's Indy or West, because Whit knows I'm live streaming and I keep getting FaceTimes. But what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, so like, you find those like the quick prints, and they actually look cool. You know, like a vintage machine in leathercraft. They always had like these killer casted in logos on the side, and they're usually painted like turquoise or something. I'm trying to think of, what do they call the bell skiver? That machine right there. I've seen one. What is it called? Oh man. Anyway, there's a couple like old brands that were making those back in the day, and I don't know, I want to say it was like the Skippy or something, but they're like, I think that the value on them is actually more because it's old. You know, like it's like a treasure. It's like a classic car. They're kind of rare and they're hard to find, and they're probably buried in all these old leather workshops across the country. But, you know, how do you find them unless you find it on eBay or something? So yeah, my point is, if you want to not scour the web for months trying to find, you know, an old machine, and also you might not even find one at this price anyway, but you can walk right into a Tandy. Or what I would prefer you to do is use our affiliate link so that we get a little bit of commish, you know? Split that commish. Yeah, but we get a little kickback, and you guys know that because you're my people, you're my stalkers. And when you do that, it supports our family, and it puts food on the table of my children, and you don't want my children to starve, do you? I'm gonna start doing that from now on. I'm just gonna guilt trip every video. I'm gonna have Indy coming into video, and I'm gonna have her like wearing a burlap sack, holding like a sack of potatoes or something. No, not even. It's gonna be an empty sack of potatoes, and she's gonna go, "Please, sir," and everyone's just gonna start buying stuff on Tandy with our affiliate link, and just like Tandy's website's gonna shut down because so many people are gonna feel so bad for Indy. They're just gonna be like, how do we handle all this traffic? And they're gonna run out of stock on everything because everyone's buying out of stuff. And that's you know, I think that's how we're gonna survive from here on out. Yep. That'll work. Do it. Guilt trip us all. And I got the babies to do it. You know, I got those little babies with the big eyes and their little hands and their cute little faces, and they're just gonna come in and they're gonna steal the hearts of America, and you won't be able to do anything about it because you're watching and you're gonna see it, and you're gonna be forced to pull out your wallet and support us. I'm just kidding, you guys. Come on. You know that's not what I'm all about. I don't care if you use our link. It's there because it's like, it's cool if you use it. But if you don't, I don't care. I'm just pumped that you're getting into the craft and that we're all, you know, just working together in this killer community of makers and creative people. And that's what it's all about. That's actually a cool conversation I had with my main point of contact at Tandy at one point. He was just like, I don't know, we were talking about some specific thing, like, I don't know, I might have been expressing that I was a little, you know, we were like trying to figure out the fact that like most of the people that watch our channel, they're like, yeah, cool, Tandy, and then they walk into the store and we don't see any of that. And really, I'm like, it's okay, we don't care. But like, if there was a way to, you know, alleviate that, maybe it'd be cool, like a coupon code or something. And I think we were talking about this, but the conversation came up from my guy at Tandy, and he was like, he was kind of making the point that, like, you know, we really don't, you know, like, if the conversions don't exactly, you know, like, if somebody's not, like, exactly clicking your link or whatever, it's really not a big deal. Like, in the end, we just want people to jump in on the craft and just be part of this, you know, and, like, and be able to learn from you. We just want to be, like, a valuable resource. That's all it is. And that, like, that really hit home for me, because I know a lot of people, okay, I can't say a lot. Let me start that over. I saw like one comment a long time ago. It probably weighed heavy on me, but someone said something like, I'm only doing this stuff for the paycheck. And that's a ridiculous accusation because, first of all, yeah, I am. How else? What else would if I wasn't trying to make some kind of money out of all this, then I'd have to quit and go get a job somewhere else, flipping burgers or something, and these videos would die, and this whole this cult that we've created. We should start a cult. It's the stalkers. You know, it would all die, and I would be working at a job just, you know, miserable, and that's what would happen. So what do you want, you know? Yeah, of course I want to make money. Like, of course I want to make money so that I can keep doing it every day and feed my children and pay for our home. You know, but to say that that's the only reason I'm doing it, that's crazy. That's bananas, because I love this work. I'm super passionate about it, and I love seeing when other people get into it. And I just want to, like, I just want to be there. I want to have these conversations. I love talking to other people about it. Also, I like getting distracted and forgetting what I'm doing so that the video just gets super long and we don't really accomplish anything. That's what I like, you know? All right, here we go. Trying 260 again. I might need a new foil though. This one's real. It's just for testing. You know, it's just for testing. I'm just gonna do a little touchy, and that's still not hot enough. I mean, it is close. It's close, but Why is it, it's acting differently than it usually does. And I wonder if it's this leather. I might need to try a different type of leather, you guys. Of course this is happening on the live stream where I'm trying to show you how to use this thing. Ah! Yeah. Yeah. Because every other time I've used this, it's worked out beautifully. And again, this isn't the machine. This is just me. It's and really, it's not like anything's going wrong. It's just taking longer to test than it normally does. And the reason that matters is because this is a live stream and it's getting real long. And I just want to show you guys what's up. I just want to show you how simple this can be. Let's try it with this leather. We'll go down, we'll go up, and it's sticking to my die. See, that's what's weird, is that almost feels like way too hot because it just instantly shrivels up the foil. And just do it on your forearm. Yeah, okay, okay. We know you want to buy them Gucci bags with all that money. Dude, you know me too well. That's drink gold be gold right there. You have this conversation with yourself too much. If you weren't genuine and cool, we wouldn't watch. You're not in it for just the money. Dude, thanks for thank you. I'm gonna stop talking about it because that's the stupid thing is I'll see one comment in a sea of like 800 super nice ones, and that one comment will just weigh so heavily on me, and it'll just like stew in my brain, and I'll just like be thinking about it all night, and I'll wake up and I'm like, I'm not just doing it for the money. And Whit's like, what? And I'm like, oh, nothing. Just kidding. That's never happened. That's a fictional fairy tale. So let me get your opinion, guys. Should we go hotter or should we, I don't know. We already tried lower, but I don't know. I'm just a little weirded out because it already feels like too hot, honestly. The fact that the foil just like shrivels up instantly, that's not usually what it does. So here's the thing. We might do this again. Maybe I'll jump on tomorrow or something and we'll do this again, but because I really want to like shorten it up, and I just want to be like, see, it's this easy, because it really is. I've done this many times. It's worked great. And I don't want somebody who's like out there hunting around on YouTube trying to learn how to foil stamp, and they're like, I gotta watch 2 hours of this ding dong talk about who knows what's up. Can you use the same stamping machine to emboss chrome tan? Yeah, that's a really good question. I'm glad you brought that up. More questions like that, people. Yes, you can. This right here is some oil tan leather, and I stamp on this stuff all the time. But again, I mean, how many different types of chrome tan leather are there? There's so many. Like most upholstery leather is chrome tan. I would definitely just take a scrap and just test it out. That's what it's all about, babies. Can you use anything other than gold by chance? Does the foil come in different colors? It sure does. I've got some copper right here, and then I also have some silver with it. And I'm sure there's other colors. I guarantee it. But these are the three I have, and I've just been using gold because I like it. Take a wet rag and touch it to the die. If it sizzles, it's too hot. Ooh. All right. I like your thinking. I don't have any water out here, but I'll definitely do that in the future. You know the future? Wood workshops aren't flammable, are they? No, not at all. In fact, that's really, showing how how ignorant you are about wood, because everyone knows it's not flammable. I'll prove it to you. Where's a match? Anyone got a match? Let's go another day. Didn't wifey say go eat? Yeah, I do need to go. I'm sorry, you guys. I've read the manual. I've used this many times. That's funny though. I like that acronym, and I'm definitely using that in the future. Yeah. It's just, you know, it just takes a while to test. Like, really, this isn't an abnormal amount of time for testing. Like I said, most of the time I'm probably just doing something else and I just come back and try it again. It's just that it's on a live stream and the pressure's on. Let me just try this one more time. Well, now we're sitting at 267. I don't know. Let me just try a little little touchy. Did that didn't even do a thing. Didn't make a dent. Been watching too much Crystalia. I think I've had Crystalia just on repeat for like the last, hey, that actually looks pretty good. Like the last week I've just been watching straight. Congratulations. What's the difference between this machine and the Chinesium sold on eBay? I have no idea. I'm not aware of that. But I will tell you, hold on. This machine right here. How do I grab this thing? Oh man. I used this for a little bit at first. This is the one I bought on Alibaba. It's probably a, you know, Chinese. Probably similar to what you're asking about. I mean, it's not like there's anything wrong with this. It is not built very well at all. It came to me cracked. This plastic piece on top is cracked, and that always bugged me. And it doesn't have great leverage. Like, I could never get very much pressure on it. Like, even if you bolt it down, it just feels really weak, and I don't know. It's just my feelings, but it's basically the same. It's a pretty simple mechanism in the end. It's just one of those things, you know, it's like, I remember thinking like, oh, I'll just spend like, I don't know, $100, like not much. Maybe it was cheaper. I honestly don't remember. This was like 4 years ago when I bought this, but I remember thinking like, I'll just go the cheap route, and yeah, always regret it. You know, I don't know if Tandy had this heat imprinter back then, but if I would have just bought that one first, I could have saved $100, you know? It's been fun hanging though, you know? Had a good time. Had a real good time. We don't doubt your skills, our almighty wizard king. Dude, okay. I mean, can't we just, can my name, I mean, why doesn't everyone call me Wizard King, you know? If Jim Morrison can be the Lizard King, Theo Vaughn can be the Rat King, can I not just be the Wizard King? Paul J, what's up, man? Suggestion on how to age veg tan. Want to veg tan wallet some patina without waiting. Good question, man. I'm sure other people have some good answers. I would suggest using like neat's foot oil is a really nice way to like get the aged look. And you can, you know, depending on how many coats you apply, like you can do one coat and you can hardly even tell it's on there. So it's pretty safe to you know, try out. You can do like 2 or 3 coats and get like a nice little kind of suntanned glow. If you don't want to like apply anything to it like that, I would just start like working it over with your hands, like, you know, for, you know, like anywhere you get like some greasy spots on your face, that stuff, that'll age it real nice. Or just set it out in the sun. But yeah, there's a, I don't know. I mean, it depends on how fast you want to try and age it, you know, because you could probably do some other things too to like really get it look beat up and old. But I'm guessing you're just saying like, how do I speed up the patina process? And that's why I would suggest neat's foot oil. I think that's going to be your best bet. Just made it home. I made a bit of this. Nice. Antique paste. Yeah, that'll do it too. Like, I haven't messed with a lot of that stuff because I know mostly like guys who do a lot of tooling and stamping will use the antiquing, and it kind of like darkens the the stamp but leaves the top layer a little lighter, or vice versa. And that gives it kind of like an antique look. But I don't know about just using it straight on leather, like without the stamping. I'm sure it would still do the trick. What knife do you recommend for cutting out patterns without a clicker press? A normal X-Acto knife is too flimsy for my likings. Well, that really depends on what kind of leather you're using, honestly. Because like when I'm just making a wallet, like the video I filmed yesterday is going to be going up on like the 22nd or something. 24th. It's going up on the... No, 22nd. Yeah, so April 22nd, you'll see it. I did a wallet, a new wallet design that I don't have a die for. And so I cut the whole thing out with my little precision knife. Where is it? I don't know where it is, but it's essentially this. This is the top half of it. But I actually like the more like pen holder one. It just depends. Sometimes I use this, but I wouldn't use this unless you're doing anything more than like, or sorry, anything less than like 3 to 4 ounces. These work great. Anything heavier than that, you definitely want something else, like a round knife. If you're going the Tandy route, you can get something like this. Like some of these will do better for some of the heavier stuff. You've seen these in my like top 10 tool videos. I love the shape of this knife. This was, I remember, okay, this is gonna like tell a lot about me, and maybe we could have a little therapy session, but I had a dream once where I was using a knife to cut some leather in a dream. And I looked at the knife, and this is the shape that it was. And I hadn't seen it on Tandy's website until after my dream. And so I don't know if Tandy has you know, if there's a window into my mind, and somehow Al Stolman from the past designed a knife just for me, knowing that I was going to dream about it. But anyway, I love the shape of this. Like this is, to me, this is what's really useful. Like when you're cutting heavier stuff, I love that. You just got to keep it sharp. And then like a head knife is also useful for heavy stuff. But there's a lot of routes you could go for cutting. We probably need to do a video about that, because I'm not even saying I have all the best solutions. I do like these kind of little like Japanese style knives too. These are super nice. This one's from Chartermade. Tarek, who's a buddy of mine and an incredible knife maker, whipped that up for me, and I love this knife. But this is, I mean, you can use this in a lot of different ways. You can hold it like this and kind of draw it. You can use this to skive, to like, anyway, I can't think of the word, but yeah, I mean, these kind of knives are really nice too, just for like stamping out straight cuts. And if you watch like some of those Japanese makers that are just so incredible at what they do, just so talented. They use a lot of knives like this. Different sizes, a little bit different shapes. But honestly, most of the leather I work with on a regular basis is like 3 to 4 ounces, so that little precision knife does the trick. Those Charter knives look smart, beautiful. That's a great adjective for it. Yeah, I would agree. Maybe you really are the Wizard King. I mean, I'm not gonna deny it. My Chartermade knife is on its way. Nice. Nice. All right, you guys, let's give this one more shot. I mean, I think what I might do is leave this up, and you know, just because it's a good time and we had a hoot. But I think I'll do another one later on where we talk about, like, maybe I'll get the settings a little bit more dialed in for this leather. But I don't want to discount the fact that this is part of the process. Like, you get equipment and you have to do a lot of testing. I do the same thing with sewing machines to get tension right, decide what needle I want to use, what thread I want to use, and I get so many emails from people like, I don't know what needle size I want to use, and like, really it just comes down to preference and how you want it to look. So why not just like try a few different and see what you like? I mean, testing is so important in this game. You just got to figure out what you want. All right, let's try this. We're just gonna do a little quickie. Bam! Yep, that didn't work. Actually, it did. That actually stamped it pretty nicely, but it didn't do what it usually does, which is like, it kind of sticks to the leather and then you peel it away from the leather. So that's what, it makes me feel like this is too hot. I mean, the fact that it just shriveled up like that, that's bananas. But it did give me a pretty nice gold foil stamp. So in the end, you guys, moral of the story, I know I didn't get like a really solid result, but if we would have spent a little more time here, I could have gotten it down to a science. It's really just a combination of heat and the time. Apparently, I think, as someone mentioned on here, like it says in the manual, I think with gold foils, or not just gold, but with foil stamping, I think you do just want like a quick touch. You're not going to want to just sit there and leave it on the foil. But with like the heat brand, that's something, the heat stamp, that's something I do all the time for our skirting leather. I sit right at about 260 degrees and it just works beautifully. And that's really where the value of this machine came in for me, since I don't do that much foil stamping. But I do know that was the whole point of this video, is to teach that. And yeah, so I apologize we didn't get like a solid result with that. But at the same time, I know you guys like it when things don't work out perfectly. I can't even, all the videos where like I make a mistake and I just keep rolling with it, people are like, I love that. So, yeah, the Wizard King's human, you know? Wizards and kings make mistakes. That's funny. Whoever said that, that is funny. Temperature lower, press for a longer time. That's how I started out, Liam. Yeah, we did that at first. I was at like, I started at 195 and I couldn't get a good stamp, you know, no matter how long we did it. So then we moved up to like 225, tried 250, 260. We're at 280. It's definitely going to be a balance in somewhere there. I'm definitely guessing like, I know for a fact that was too hot. I think that if we went back down to more like 200 range and played around with it more, like maybe left it longer, maybe, you know, I don't know, just tried a few different things, we might get a better result. But in the end, that's what it's all about. Figure it out, test it, try different things. I know that you're gonna have so much fun with this machine. I definitely have. Like when I first got it, I was just stamping everything. And it's gonna take your work to an entirely different professional level. I mean, it just makes your work look so just finished and professional. That's the word for it, you know? That's what takes it from looking like something you just made in your kitchen for the first time to like, oh, this is the real deal, you know? So I would definitely try it. Yeah, that's a good point. I think that the foil, different types of foil require different heat. But I still recommend testing, you know. Oh man, thank you, Brandon. I appreciate you. You guys are so cool. I love it when you jump in on that super chat and give us a little cha-ching. We really appreciate it. We do, because this is how we're surviving. And anyway, I just want you to know I've loved this machine since I've gotten it. Don't just take my word for it. Do your research. See what else is out there. But I know that if you get this machine and you're looking to get some like heat stamping done or some foil stamping, it's gonna do the job for you, and it's gonna last a long time, and there's good support behind it. I think you're gonna love it. So just try it out, and if you do, as always, we would love it if you used our affiliate link. Obviously, we would love it. We get a little commish. But again, if you don't, it's no big deal. Life goes on, and I'm just pumped that you're getting into leathercraft, and that's what it's all about. So thank you guys for watching. This has been fun. It's good hanging out. Listen, only those who don't work with leather wouldn't understand. Trial error is part of the game. No need to explain yourself because you have great videos showing your quality. Yeah, thanks, man. That's a thing. That was like one of my goals I've been wanting to do in my life as of lately, was like stop apologizing for so much. You know, like there's always a good time and place for you know, a decent apology. You know, if you do something really stupid or you like put someone out or hurt someone in any way, of course you need to apologize. But I don't ever want to be one of those like Marvin Milquetoast guys that are just like, oh, sorry, oh, sorry, were you gonna sorry. And I found myself doing that sometimes. I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be that guy. You know, be confident in who you are. Be confident in your work. Be confident in what you do. I think there's a lot to be said for that, you know? And so I say sorry because we had a very distinct purpose for this. And, you know, I do wish we would have got like a real awesome result, but it does work. I've done it so many times in my work. It looks beautiful. And I know that you're going to be able to get a good result with this machine. So, anyway, I just love hanging out with you guys. I love working with leather with you guys. I wish you could all be standing here in the shop right now and we could all just be chit-chatting and dancing and holding hands, you know? Don't walk in. Use the affiliate link. Obey the Wizard King. It's easy to get in the sorry habit. Yeah, for sure. Everyone, come on. Show some kindness and love. Man, thank you guys. This is the coolest group of live stream viewers we've ever had. You guys are the bee's knees. It's been nothing but positivity. There's something to think about. Like, we only get negative comments on the videos that we upload. Every time I've done a live stream, we've never had negative comments. I think it definitely like goes, you know, it falls more into the line of like, you know, a lot more people are more brave behind the keyboard than they are in person, and maybe the live stream brings more of that like in-person dynamic. But you guys are the best. You guys are amazing. And don't let my children starve, you know? Don't let my children starve, because even though we're super rich and we have so much money we don't even know what to do with, still don't let my children starve, you know? Use the affiliate link, you know? All right, I'm going to get some food. Y'all need to sell some S&B snapback baseball caps. Oh, you mean like this one? Just kidding. That's one, that color didn't sell very well. We had black and blue. We had a lot of different hats, and they're awesome, and I'm definitely going to be sewing up some more because I have a cylinder arm machine and it's a lot easier to sew patches on. But yeah, we got hats, man. We got everything you need. What else do you need? You know, umbrellas, your basic like kitchen utensils. I'll bring to the table whatever you need, you know? That's what the Wizard King does. All right, guys, I'm out of here. I gotta go. I'm talking too much. It's been 2 hours, and it's been super fun. And let's hang out sometime, you know? Okay. Love you guys, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.